Hey guys, this is Illusion Podfics, and today we're going to be reading Birds of a Feather by Hells_Library. This is Chapter 9. When America had met Peter, she was on the run from a multiversal super witch who wanted to take her powers and kill her. Fun times to look back on. She had met him temporarily in New York before she was moved by Wong Strange to Camartage. He was kind to her and told her about what it was like in his universe, growing up, going to school, making friends. America didn't have a home universe, so to say, so she was fascinated to hear what Peter had to say. America realized that Peter was basically babysitting her while on the run from a Scarlet Witch, but she didn't mind being around someone near her age for once. America hadn't realized what Peter was dealing with at the moment, i.e. having had to fight for his life against multiversal villains with help from other versions of himself, all while trying to get into college so that he can live his life, all while losing his aunt in the process. If she had known he was almost about to be erased from the memory of everyone he knew, she would approach their conversation a bit differently. Even though they were only together for about a week, she felt oddly at ease around him, and extremely grateful for the comfort he provided, all while going through something extremely difficult herself. These were all thoughts she had been having during her search for Peter. She realized that time was working against her while crossing the multiverse. More so, it was having an effect on her physically. Making so many stops in different universes, time throughout the multiverse was an anomaly, and she knew this because of what Strange had shared with her while she was learning about sorcery. The former Sorcerer Supreme and holder of the Time Stone made sure to get that through her head, especially when it came to her powers. Now she was seeing it firsthand take effect. She could only assume that she had been searching for Peter for weeks at this point, but her body might be showing months of traveling instead of weeks. She noticed her jeans weren't hitting the same length they used to, and her shirt was getting smaller along with her jacket. She was getting older, or maybe just taller. Either way, this only meant that she was running on borrowed time. She was barely 15 years old when she left, and now she looked like she was boarding 16 to 17 any time she looked at her reflection. She wondered how much time had passed for Peter. Each universe she entered, she could feel it take a small toll on her body, as she adjusted to the time and energy within each place she visited. On the bright side, she was feeling extremely more comfortable handling herself when it came to her array of powers. For the first time in a while, she felt capable of protecting herself and others if she needed to. One thing that was new for her was that she was starting to feel a presence around her. It was something she had never felt before, and it was unsettling at points. Anytime she felt it, she made a point to leave the universe she was in and keep moving. She was thinking that it might just be that she was crossing so many universes so consistently. After she realized that the 15-ish universes that she had settled with were not where Peter was, she kept moving in hopes of finding the one. As the stars ripped open, she flies into her next universe, not really thinking anything of it. Number 56, let's see what you've got, she whispers to herself as she makes her way down through the clouds which lead to blue skies and into an opening of wheat and cornfield for miles on end, alongside small and larger farms. To her, it was beautiful. One of the things she had been thoroughly enjoying about her travels. She gasped. She felt herself getting tackled out of the sky before she could process what was happening. Con felt relief making his way through the air in and out of the cloudscape. He always enjoys the flight to Metropolis. He looked down, then towards the sun off in the distance, hoping that he wasn't going to hold up to him any longer than he needed to. Meeting him downtown to discuss what had been going on with Peter had Con feeling nervous, but relieved at the same time. The last time he saw Peter was at the pizza parlor, and that was over 2 weeks ago now. He did know about what the Justice League was doing to help, and the whole multiversal situation and everything, but he was finally looking forward to hearing it from Tem. He had been off on a mission in the Atlantic, getting information on some energy anomalies, and he officially felt like he was very low on his doses of Tem Drake. Con, come in. Kara's voice brought him right out of his daydream. Hey Kara, what's up? I'm kind of on my way to meet Tem. If this is another mission-related thing, can it wait? He spoke with subtle annoyance. Oh, sorry to interrupt, but this is kind of important. Kara spoke quickly but directly. Okay, how important is it? Because I told Tem that I would meet him at sundown. Con was cut off by Kara. Yes, very romantic, sunset dinner, whatever. This is more important. Something or someone just entered the upper atmosphere after the computer reported a giant wave of energy. Borderline multiversal, but it was on such a small scale we are skeptical. It is similar to the wavelengths recorded when Peter showed up. You're the closest to that surge. Clark wants you to check it out. Sending you the coordinates now. Carr was talking so fast that it made Con feel nervous. Wait, what? Clark? Are you serious? Con asked, not believing what Kara was saying. Yes, very serious, Kara responded in a monotone voice. The ping to his phone only proved that Kara was being dead serious. He looked, and it showed that he was only about 30 miles away. The surge just happened about a minute before Kara called him, and Con's mouth formed a thin line. Okay, I'm on my way. Can you do me a favor and tell Tim I'm going to be a little late? 10 minutes tops, he told Kara. Sure, let us know what you find and check in when you get there. Good luck, not that you need it. Kara's goodbye left Con alone once again, as he started speeding off towards the little pin. He didn't want to come in too fast, as he wasn't exactly sure what to expect as he approached. As he did, he noticed that it was something strange. It looked like a woman was shooting down towards a farm near the ground. She was going fast, almost like Superman fast. Con's eyes widened as he sped off to intercept her. When he grabbed her, he hadn't expected to meet much resistance, but he should have expected otherwise as he felt her grab his armpits and throw him off of her. She was strong. He felt that immediately. He couldn't necessarily gauge how strong, but in comparison to Peter's exposition of strength at the pizza parlor, he could already tell that she was stronger than him. She looked like any normal human to him, but she couldn't really be classified as a woman. That made her sound old. She was a teenager like him. He could tell she was thinking the same thing about him as they made eye contact. His eyes flared up, reminding himself that this must be who created those energy anomalies. He knew he needed to put an end to it before they caused something worse to occur in this universe. His laser vision shot out as he concentrated on shooting her out of the sky. She stuck her hand out and caught the beam that was being shot at her, and was holding it off while gritting her teeth. Con tried his best not to falter, seeing that his laser vision was not really affecting this girl in any way besides maybe slightly heating her hands. He flew in close and punched her down towards the ground. He watched as she barreled into the ground and created a small crater around her body. He smiled, figuring he could bring her back to Metropolis to figure out who she was, and how she created the energy flares. This hadn't been the warmest of welcomes to a universe. America only had altercations in a handful of universes, doing her search for Peter, but never so suddenly like this one. She made sure to stay high in the sky to keep visible over her surroundings, but this boy got her so quickly when she wasn't expecting it. As she laid in the crater she created after slamming into the earth, she tried to calm herself down. She didn't come to this universe to hurt anyone, but she wasn't one to back away from a fight. She closed her eyes as she felt the boy float down to her, probably figuring she was unconscious. And right as he got close enough, she grabbed his arms and flipped him in the ground, pinning her beneath him. America had never fought someone as strong as she was up until now, so it was a bit of a hassle for her to keep him beneath her. She felt a surge of energy in her feet as she charged up a kick to keep the boy down. He gasped as her foot made contact with his lower back. She could see sparks of multiversal energy coursing through his body as it left her foot, as another small crater formed around the ground from the sheer force. What she hadn't realized was that his grip wasn't from the kick, but unintentionally masked by it. He suddenly took a large breath and blew out of it, which led to America finding herself flailing through the air as incredibly fast winds twirled around her like a rag doll. Corn and wheat were pelting her body and face as she was flying higher into the air. She steadied herself as fast as she could, but not before being beamed by the boy's laser vision again, and pummeled into heaps of corn as she slid across the earth. She got on her feet and held the beam in her hand again, and she braced her feet into the earth to steady her stance as she could feel the boy approaching as the beam grew harder. She channeled her inner energy and flexed her entire body to release a wave of kinetic energy which slammed into the boy, ricocheting his laser vision back into himself. He steadied himself quicker as he was suddenly in front of her. America barely caught his movement, but she had been getting better at reacting to things with her sight that were moving at light speed or beyond. She quickly dodged the boy's punch and returned the favor, but he was able to dodge it as well. They entered into an array of blocks and punches, and they sped off across the ground into a massive flurry of wind and earth as they shred through the fields in an attempt to subdue one another. America began releasing starry punches of multiversal strength as the boy began shooting quick bolts of laser vision to counteract her release of energy, but she could note that he seemed shocked she was able to keep up with him. Her punches were starting to shred their clothes as the energy being released was immense. America was starting to think that they were reaching a standstill, but she could recognize that if it hadn't been for the skills she had learned on her journey to find Peter, this boy would have subdued her quickly. She really hoped her next plan would work. "I really hope you can understand me, but I'm not trying to hurt anyone," she yelled in between punches. She saw the boy's eyes widen as their fists made contact with one another. The surge of energy broke them apart as they both flew back over 30 feet from each other and came to a halt. "You can speak English?" the boy said in surprise. America realized that she should have tried speaking from the very beginning. She rubbed her head. "Yes, I can speak English. I'm sorry if I made it seem like I was an enemy, I guess," she said slowly in response. The boy looked at her with a puzzled expression. "You mean you weren't hurtling at a superhuman speed to destroy the farmlands here?" he asked. No, I wasn't going to destroy anything. She didn't know what to say exactly. She couldn't say she was a multiversal traveler, since that hadn't really gone well in other universes. "I'm just a little lost," she told him. "I'm not from here." "What do you mean? Like, not from Earth?" he asked. Okay, so she was on a version of Earth. That much she figured from the atmosphere and scenery. She thought quickly. Maybe she could pass as an alien. That didn't seem that hard. Yeah, I'm from another planet, she said calmly. The boy gave her a skeptical look. You are radiating energy not from this planet, let alone this galaxy or the one surrounding it. You have a heat signature that I can't recognize. I need you to be honest with me, the boy said plainly while firming his stance. America winced. Okay, so this boy was, of course, capable of seeing heat signatures. Why did she not think about that? I don't think you would believe me if I told you where I am from, she said honestly. His face softened. Trust me, you have no idea the stuff I have to believe, he responded. She paused to look at him, not really understanding what he meant. I'm Superboy. It's nice to meet you, he said softly. Superboy? Is that like a superhero name? She said while chuckling at the directness of the name. Well, yes it is, he said, heat rising to his cheeks. Oh wait, you're serious, she said. It had been about 13 universes since she ran into one of the people who dubbed themselves a superhero. She began to wonder if she could find variants here that could help her. Yeah, I am. If you couldn't tell by the whole supersuit situation, he gestured to what he was wearing. She smiled at him. My name is America. I go by Miss America if you want to know the whole superhero name thing, she said quickly. Superboy's eyes widened as America told him this. Wait, let me guess. You're a superhero from another universe but sent here by mistake, he asked her. She raised an eyebrow at him. Sort of. It's kind of a long story. You believe in the multiverse? She asked him. Of course I do. I've had some run-ins with the whole situation with the League, he said plainly. America nodded like she understood what he meant. Oh, sorry. The League, like the Justice League, he paused, thoughts flickering through his eyes. They're a team of superheroes maybe comparable to the Avengers, he said while looking at her with curious eyes. The Avengers? There's a team called the Avengers here? Who's on it? She asked quickly as he shared this information with her. His eyes widened as he smiled towards her. No, there isn't an Avengers team here, but there is someone who also knows a group of superheroes by that name, Superboy said to her. She looked at him and then down. Was she finally here? Peter, she whispered as she smiled. You know Peter? Superboy asked. Well, I know a Peter. I've been looking for him, trying to deliver a message, she said, trying to remain calm. Wait, how did he hear me say, she began to ask. Superhearing. Anyway, you've been looking for Peter? That's awesome. He's going to be so happy to hear that, he said to her excitedly. She nodded, trying to also contain her own excitement. I just have to make sure you aren't lying, he said with a sudden wave of seriousness. America frowned at the sudden shift in mood. She took a few steps back. How are you going to do that exactly? She asked him hesitantly. Oh, I'm not going to be the one doing it, he said calmly. She gave him curious eyes, not sure as to what he was planning since they were alone right now. Suddenly, America felt herself being entangled by a rope that subtly blinded her. She felt her arms get pinned to the sides as a wave of energy courses through her body. She quickly tries to fly away as his body begins to turn into light as she makes her escape. She doesn't get far as she is met with resistance. She tries to fight it, but is yanked back by tremendous force. As she turns to see a tall and beautiful woman who is clad in all black and silver accents, and stars cascading down her body. She is holding the rope that has her bound. It is glowing in radiant light. Superboy stands at her side, supporting her arms. Please let me go. I have to find Peter, she pleads with him desperately. You are right, Con. She is very strong, the woman says to Superboy. America raises an eyebrow at them as she looks at Superboy. You set me up. You were just a distraction till she got here. America yelled at him. Superboy shrugged. I guess sort of. I didn't know I was going to get back up, but I'm not lying to you about helping Peter. We just need to know if you are who you say you are, he responds. My name is Donna Troy of the New Kronos. I'm here to see if you are telling the truth about whether or not you are here for Peter's best interest. I take it you're a traveler of the multiverse. Is that true? Donna asked America. America felt a surge of energy overtake her as she felt like she needed to vomit. The more you resist, the more painful this will be, Donna said softly. I am a traveler and herald of the multiverse, America said as she broke a sweat. What is your name? My name is America Chavez. My alias is Miss America. America spewed as she began to sweat more profusely. Are you a friend of Peter Parker? If so, why have you come looking for him? Donna continued. I am a friend of Peter Parker. I'm here looking for him to tell him the truth as to why he was sent here, America said. America was beginning to lose her breath. Who sent you here? What is their intent with Peter? Donna asked. I was sent here by Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, the Queen of Chaos, the Living Darkhold, the Empress of Magic. America gasped as she said this. These were all titles Dr. Strange and Wong had used to refer to Wanda during her raid on Comertage. She sent me here to protect Peter from what is coming, America continued. Dawn and Con looked at each other curiously. What is coming? America convulsed as she screamed against a new wave of energy overtaking her. I don't know. That's why she sent me here, to warn him, America gasped as tears rolled down her eyes. She saw as Donna gave Con a worried look. Con mumbled something to her as she mumbled back. They looked concerned. Thank you for cooperating with us, America. I'm sorry for putting you through this, but we also want to protect Peter from anyone who might hurt him. I owe Dick that much," she smiled. "We are going to take you to see Peter now," Donna said as she picked up America bridal style and started to fly off. America hadn't realized how tired she was until the moonlight hit her face. She dozed off as Donna spoke to Con. Alright guys, and that is the end of chapter 9 of Birds of a Feather by Halls_Library. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you in the next chapter.